much for the NWA World Titles. But we didn't get to do that. But we figured out that the chemistry we had as a team was something pretty special. And I think the first time we teamed up, it was against Ray Monroe and a buddy of mine by the name of Jax Dane. So when we had that match, we understood we had something special.
Kind of catching, lightning in a bottle. Now, you guys, when you get to Ring of Honor, they throw you in a program with War Machine and then with the Briscoe brothers. I mean, how does that feel? Because they obviously have the utmost confidence in you guys to put you in matches like that. What was that, getting that call kind of, what does that feel like?
It's a whirlwind of emotion. You're excited, you're anxious, you're nervous, you're afraid because you are in there with those guys, and not afraid of them like physically, but you're nervous and afraid because a lot is being put on your shoulders. So the expectation is high, and to step on one of the biggest stages in the world and sort of say, hey, it's bottom of the ninth right away. You know what I mean? Like that's you go, oh, all right, here we go. But, me and Keith talked about that, and this is what we asked for, and it's something that I say constantly. I perform best when my back is against the wall. I perform best when it's clutch. The bigger the moment, the bigger I shine. So I like being put in those spots. Because I know that it's going to bring the best out of me, that in turn can bring out the best in my opponent. And when you're in there with guys like Ray and Hanson and the Briscoes, you can't ask for better competition. You can't ask for better leaders. You can't ask for better performers. So they made our job incredibly easy, and we just went out there and just beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah, and, to anybody listening, if you have the ROH Honor Club, go back and watch those matches. They were like literal car crashes, and they made for great, great television. A lot of people were surprised, when Keith Lee decided to leave Ring of Honor for Evolve. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people thought that, the Pretty Boy Killers had a long run as a tag team. Was that difficult for you because, of such a momentum that you guys had, and then you were like, not necessarily starting over, but you were like, all right, got to lace them up and, change the course, so to speak? Yeah,
I mean, it's exactly that. I talked to Keith, and there was, and the one thing that we both decided was, when we formed the team, our job was to both, our goal was to both get jobs. Right, was to sign contracts. And when Ring of Honor gave me my first deal, and he was offered the other one, we talked about it, and I said, look, man, you do what you have to do. You do what is best for you and your family and the goals that you have. He has his reasons for why he did that, and a lot of them are valid reasons. So there was no sort of animosity or anything like that. He felt like his opportunities were better elsewhere. And I mean, if you look at the close to year and a half, 2 years he's had since then, you can't really blame the guy. You know what I mean? He's been everywhere. He's traveled the world. He's won world championships all over the place. So I mean, he did what he had to do, and my job is to be a star with or without Keith Lee.
Right, and I think I know you've went through a dramatic physical transformation. You lost something like 75, 80 pounds. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Now, started off about 385 earlier in 2017. Now I'm down to about 305. The goal is another probably 40 or so probably like another 65. And then just really trying to put myself in a position where I can present not only main event quality work in ring, but give Ring of Honor or any place that I work in the future a main event package to present to their audience.
And I definitely think you have done that. I mean, losing that much weight, what do you think was a main key for you? Was it nutrition? Was it certain changes in the exercise, or was it just overall maybe a mindset?
A combination of everything. I never really ate bad. It was just like portion control, and then just making sure that I was eating the proper things and cutting out certain things, and then just getting with people who knew more about it than me, and really sort of just fine-tuning things, and that's really what led to it. Yeah, man, it's been, the changes were noticeable from the get-go. It's faster. I'm stronger now than I was, more explosive. Always had good cardio, but the cardio is still good. And so it's been awesome.
And if anybody wants an example of that, go look last weekend, Bound by Honor Night 2, you versus Jay Lethal. That match absolutely tore the house down. I thought that was a fantastic match. Jay Lethal is, in my mind, one of the top 5 best wrestlers in the world right now, and I feel like you got a great chance to shine with him in a really, really good match. With a fantastic angle with Lanny Poffo. That was just amazing television. What was, I feel like Ring of Honor, you have a lot more singles opportunity in matches. You're on TV so much more. What was that like having that match last weekend with Lethal?
I mean, well, Jay is one of the guys that I had on my bucket list of wrestlers. It was a situation that got changed around, and I was put into that spot. But again, like I like those challenges, and I like being put in those spots. I tell people all the time, I can't hit home runs for you if you don't let me swing. So they told me to step up to the plate, and I swung as hard as I could. You know what I mean? So the reaction for the match has been great. A lot of positive feedback. And when you're in there again and you hit the nail on the head, Jay Lethal is, I don't know if I can think of 4 people better than him in the world. I mean, I really can't. I think he gets slept on a lot as being that sort of pound for pound best wrestler, in that argument. But when you're in there with a guy like him, you have no choice but to step your game up, but to be ready to go. And I was very, very proud of that match and that performance, as well as being able to interact with Lanny Poffo as well.
And I think if people missed night 1, I mean, you were in there against I don't want to say a rookie, but a relative newcomer in Josh Woods, and those guys are 2 literally completely different styles. So for you to be able to have such great matches with 2 different guys in back-to-back nights, I mean, I think it's time Ring of Honor starts taking a little more notice.
You're not the only one. But no, man, it's everything is earned there. Plugging away, trying to do my best. I'm hoping with the performances that you guys will see on TV coming up soon here from Pittsburgh and Columbus, and with the match against Woods and the match against Jay Lethal and the stuff that I continue to do, that people realize that I'm the real deal, and there's a lot of people, and I tell people all the time that the secret's getting out. You know what I mean? Like, people are starting to notice that, anytime I go out there, I'm putting on a show, and I'm consistent. There's not different levels of performance you get with me. I'm all in every single time. Throttle all the way down.
I mean, that also includes getting in the face of Bellator vet King Mo. I know there was a little bit of jaw-jacking back and forth. What are we going to see between King Mo and Shane Taylor in the future? Is there something to that?
Listen, you're going to see him get his ass busted if he keeps talking trash like that. That's what's going to happen. Like, listen, I mean, this is my thing. I understand, the entertainment aspect of what we both do. But I, for one, I'm sick of, and this is no disrespect to the sport, but, MMA guys coming over to pro wrestling and then thinking, they're tougher than us, and they're not. You just have a different training. You have a different skill set than we have, but that doesn't mean that you're just gonna walk in here and whoop anybody's ass. Sorry for cussing, but like it upsets me that people just think like because you're a pro wrestler, oh, I'm just gonna beat you up. No, homie, like this is not how this goes. I've been fighting my entire life. I've been boxing my entire life. You've got guys with legitimate backgrounds who love professional wrestling, so this is what we chose to do. So the whole concept itself is dumbfounding to me, where it seems like professional wrestling always has to take a back seat to a quote unquote more legitimate sport. And I hate it because people come here for a reason. People go there and they do what they do, whether they're successful or not, but they come here. Guys like them are trying to be us there. You know what I mean? Chael Sonnen, Connor, the whole list of them trying to create professional wrestling personalities in their sport. It's not a coincidence. So when they come over here and try to run their mouth, it pisses me off a bit. And King Mo is no exception. Like I told him on Twitter, on Instagram, like I told him it in his face, I was like, homie, we can do this at Ring of Honor, or I know they have open weight classes at Bellator. I'll go to Bellator. I don't care. But, you know, if he keeps crossing me, we're going to have to do something about this.
Listen, I completely agree with you. Growing up a fan of both, the fighters that make the most money are the ones that have taken every aspect of professional wrestling. Chael Sonnen was everywhere, and he quoted, quote for quote, a Superstar Billy Graham promo. So these guys are reading from the pages of books that were written, you know, years and years ago. And, you know, professional wrestlers now are not the guys that they were in the late 70s and early 80s. You know, it's athletes, you know, in a sport. So I think, listen, I'm nominating Shane Taylor for the front line to stand toe-to-toe with these guys. I like the message. I like what you're saying here.
Listen, I'm down. Be it King Mo, be it Riddle, be it whoever. Like, I get it. And again, this is no disrespect to the sport, but if you're going to copy what we do, if you're going to come into our world, don't disrespect what we do. And this is the fans, the announcers, and the commentators too in their sport. They always tend to talk down about pro wrestling, yet do everything in their power to emulate it. And it pisses me off. You know, don't copy us and then talk trash. Don't come into our world and then run your mouth. Because if we were to do that to you, you would take it as disrespect. So I'm taking it as disrespect.
Well, I hope King Mo's listening. You know, if he's not,
I hope he is.
He's going to find out some way. This is it's got me riled up. I want to see more of it. Listen, Shane, where can people find you online? Because you're on Twitter and you got some real interesting tweets. Like you said, you're talking to King Mo. Where can people find you? Where can they follow you?
At Twitter and Instagram at Shane216Taylor. Facebook, Notorious Shane Taylor. Also, the pro wrestling tees. If any of you guys listening are so inclined to buy some merchandise, prowrestlingtees.com/Shane Taylor. Also, ROHWrestling.com. Go to the merch shop. Pick up your Shane Taylor Knockouts for Everybody t-shirt. It'd be greatly appreciated.
And, you know, the pro wrestling tees, there's a Shane Taylor One Punch Cleveland Street Fighter shirt that I am now inclined to pick up because I am on the front lines with Shane Taylor against King Mo and against the MMA. Let's do this.
Listen, I'm down, man. Yeah, I'm down.
That's awesome. Shane, listen, we cannot thank you enough. It was awesome talking to you. We appreciate your time, and we're looking forward to seeing what you got coming up with Ring of Honor on the Honor Club. Everybody make sure to check it out, and on Fight TV. Shane Taylor, thank you for stopping by the show, my friend. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, man.